I always look in the paper, see who the experts are trying to pick for these games, and a lot of experts were picking Texarkana, Texas High to beat McKinney North. But in my bracket, I had McKinney North, and I'm a smart man. They won 26-12 over Texas High. I'm joined by head coach Mike Fecci. And coaches, the first playoff win for this school is since 2005. McKinney North beating Hillcrest back in 2005. So huge win for the school, huge win for your team. Obviously, these guys have yet to win a playoff game on your roster. What were the emotions like afterwards?
Oh, they were high. They were high. You know, it was a great win for us. It was a great day for us. You know, to travel out there and to play well against a really quality opponent in Texas High, and to get the win in the fashion that we got it in was tremendous. It was a big victory, and we were pretty happy afterwards.
Obviously, before you go out to Longview to play this game, it's really, I think, the first time all year you've had a very lengthy bus ride of over a couple of hours. And you mentioned to me earlier when we were talking before the show that your kids handled it with the maturity they needed to.
They really did. They really did. And I'm not saying that like I was surprised, but I mean, in a way I kind of was, only because it's a long way. And they did a great job of handling the bus ride, handling the restaurant that we ate at, you know, getting to the stadium, handling that. You know, they just, all in all, just the whole night, they did a great job of taking care of their business.
Let's go ahead and take a look at those highlights from the game. It was a game where your defense really stepped up. You've been able to shut out some lower opponents that didn't have winning records, but this is the first time, I think, against a team with 9 wins coming in, as Texas High did, that the defense really smothered them.
They did. Our defense played outstanding football to hold anybody, but much less Texas High, to 20 yards rushing and 150 yards passing and 9 total first downs was a tremendous defensive effort. You know, we scored on the 3rd play of the game. I think that was big. I think Ronald and the offense and Ben and those guys set the tempo real early. And to be honest with you, it kind of shocked Texas High a little bit. I think they were a little bit in shock, and then they came out on offense, and we were able to 3-and-out them right off the bat. And I think that, you know, that they were a little bit in shock. This was a big sack by Zach Farrell early in the game on the first series to get them backwards. And, you know, but it was a great effort by the defense.
The front line's been doing a tremendous job on defense of late, and Justin Matabuke is one of those guys that we keep talking about every week making game-changing plays.
Yeah, Matabuke has been playing outstanding, and Gabe Ducey, the other sophomore, he played probably his best game of the year the other night. Did a great job, those two guys inside.
After that first touchdown run, things started to slow down a little bit for Ronald. He wasn't able to get to the second level as often, but he had some tough rushing yards in this game.
He did. I mean, he rushed for 200 yards on 35 carries and earned every bit of it. You know, this was a 4th down play where it was 7-0 us, and we went for it on 4th down, and instead of kicking the field goal, punched it in to make it 14. But yeah, Ronald had a great night, and those guys up front did a phenomenal job all night long.
On that 4th down play, obviously as a coach, you're going to have multiple times in the playoffs where it's a key decision, where it could go either way, and you're called upon to make the right call. What went into making that decision?
I thought, you know, early in the game, number one, I knew our defense was playing really well. And, you know, I thought if we could go up 14-10 or 14-0, that was going to be huge for us. Worst case scenario, if they stop us, they've got the ball in the 1-inch line, and we got a chance to get a safety. That was kind of my thought on that. And plus, fact, you know, I like our chances on 4th and short with our offensive line that we have, and Ronald and Ben both being back there where either one of them could carry it, and they did a good job.
That touchdown that Ducey ran in made it 14-0 early in the second quarter. Trey Smith had a big game, receiving 6 receptions for 78 yards, Ben's favorite target.
Yeah, he did a great job of finding an open space, did a great job. You know, Ducey scrambles right here, tremendous job of getting a first down, takes a big shot right there and gets right up. Yeah, Trey Smith had a great ball game. Trey Sanders had a great ball game. Carvin Parks caught a big touchdown for us. You know, it was kind of one of those nights where everybody gets involved. This is a tremendous play by Matabuke. They ruled him down. You know, it is what it is. He wasn't down. But
it didn't look down.
It is what it is. It is what it is. That's what I told him. But it was a sack, and it caused them to 3-and-out. That was the first play coming out of the second half. This is the second play where we get another sack and force them to punt. And so that was a big deal for us.
It's important, especially for the defense. I'm sure those players knew when that play happened, hey, we should have had the football back. It's important to keep your composure during that time.
Sure it is. Sure it is. You know, I mean, we talk all the time about don't worry about things you can't control. You know, you can't control referees. You can't control weather. You can't control a whole lot of things out there. All you can control is yourself. Great throw to Carvin Parks on this touchdown right here. And that's what they did. They were upset, obviously, but we just moved on and went and played the next play and got a sack.
And turned it into points, up 20-0 after a missed extra point. Texas High will get one back late in the third quarter to make it 20-7. So now you're in a big fourth quarter situation where the defense is trying to shut things down, and Tyler Files did just that.
Yeah, Files played tremendous football in the second half. They have an outstanding receiver at Texas High, kind of like ours right here. Trey Sanders, great catch in traffic. They got an outstanding receiver that Tyler Files did a great job of covering. Actually, I believe it's right here. Gets an interception on a home run ball they tried to hit on us. Tyler makes a great play on the ball, and then everyone starts blocking. He gets a big, nice return for us. But, for a senior and for a guy that's worked like Tyler has, I was proud of that kid.
And playing some center field there, making the behind-the-shoulder catch on the interception and the lengthy run back that will set up your final touchdown of the game.
Yeah, this was big, for us to go down and drive down. This is a great run here by Ronald to show his balance and his speed and his power. Right here, he stays right on that line and then accelerates out of it, makes a cut there. Great run by him. But yeah, it was a big night for Tyler and the defense, and then Ronald punches this thing in here to put us up and pretty much put it out of reach.
At that point, it's 26-12. You go for two, trying to make it an even 28. Couldn't quite get it there. Actually, I believe wasn't even 12 yet. I think Texarkana's touchdown came a little bit later, but the final score was 26-12. You win this game with a few more plays on defense as they tried to drive down a couple times late in the fourth quarter. Never really could get beyond the 50.
They did a good job. We did a good job of, like right here, keeping receivers in front of us, rallying to the ball, being good open field tacklers. They hit us on a big fade route where that number 4 receiver for them went up and made a phenomenal catch over our defensive back. But, we did a good job of, covering them and knocking balls down and doing what we're supposed to do.
Very complete effort for the Bulldogs in this win. Again, your first playoff win since 2005. And Ronald Jones, 34 carries in this game for 199 yards and 2 touchdowns. This is the most I think he's carried the ball all season long, and he responded well after the game.
Yeah, he did. He looked good after the game. He was moving around pretty good. Looked really good on Saturday morning when he came in and ran. We were kind of concerned about that. Could he hold up to 35 carries against that type of defense? And he did. And that's a good thing. You want everyone healthy, and that's where we are right now.
This game put him over 2,000 yards now rushing on the season. He passed Kelton Moore for second in the area, rushing only behind Xavier Turner of Birdville, and he gets the ball a lot for Birdville.
He does.
And Ben Ducey, again, your quarterback, 10 of 14 in this game, no turnovers. And the stat that just jumps out to me on the season, he has 14 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Last year he had 10 touchdowns to 12 interceptions, a complete 180.
It is. And that's because Ben in the offseason went to work on being a quarterback, not only physically but mentally. And when Coach Harden came in, that just fostered that even more. And, Coach Harden has really taken Ben to a level that he needs to be at. And I attribute a lot of that success to Coach Harden. A lot of it goes back to Ben, a kid that, basically went to work at the end of last year on all the little things it takes to be a great quarterback. And he's had a phenomenal season, and we're going to need him again to do the same thing this week.
I think the biggest challenge going into that game with Texas High is they have a lot of speed, especially on offense. And you held this team to just about under 20 rushing yards. Their leading rusher had 23 yards on the game. Tremendous job for your defense. You've gone against some great teams in your district that can run the ball. To put up that performance was really incredible.
It was a great night. It was a great night all in all. Like I say, I think that our kids, they're really believing in each other. They're seeing what hard work and effort and attitude does, and and it was, like I say, it was just a great performance by them.
And total, you outgained Texas High 364 to 165 in total yards. Now you go up against a Mansfield Legacy team that's another talented rushing team.
Yep.
They have Terrence Ivory, who was a receiver last year, quarterback this year. He runs the ball extremely well, as well as a guy that I've coined because I've done a couple of Mansfield Legacy broadcasts, famous Kajan Amos, before there's famous Jameis Winston in Florida State. Kajan Amos, he's a talented running back as well. He's 4th in the area rushing, only a couple spots behind Ronald.
Right.
Going to be a tough test.
It's a very tough test, very tough test. Very good football team. We went over and watched them live on Saturday against John Tyler, and I was thoroughly impressed with how they operate, how they do things. Those 2 players in particular. They have a 3rd running back that comes in that would be most people's number 1 running back. They're very good. They're very talented. They do what they do. Their defense is very good. It's a huge, huge test for us. It really is, because they're not going to be overlooking us. You know, I think we may have caught Texas High early in the game overlooking us a little bit, and that's not going to happen this week. These guys will be locked in and ready for us, and we'll have to be ready for them.
It's going to be a Friday night kickoff as it was, but this time closer to home from last week. It's going to be at Dallas's Kincaid Stadium. A nice big stadium, a good place for a high school football game, and a good neutral location. So the crowd's going to need to show up to outdo that Mansfield Legacy crowd.
They are. Hopefully they will. You know, we had a great crowd travel to Longview. We anticipate having another great crowd there Friday night. And, you know, it just adds to the atmosphere of the whole thing. And, you know, I've been real happy with our community support up to this point this year. They've been phenomenal, been behind us since the word go. And, you know, they'll show up, and hopefully we'll show up. That's the thing is, you know, are we going to show up and go play? And I think we will.
Well, Coach, I know you have a busy week ahead, and you need to rest that voice, too, for next Friday night.
It's about to go on me. I did good at the beginning, but it's on its way out.
Yeah, you've had enough to last. Thanks so much for joining us,
Thanks,
Coach.
Tyler.
Mike Fecci and his McKinney North Bulldogs, first playoff win again since 2005, and they've got a chance to make it 2 in a row against a very good Mansfield Legacy team, a team that was runner-up out of District 15 4A this year. Should be a great one Friday night, 7:30 at Kincaid Stadium.